Tony D and Little Joan, and this is your Screenwriter's Rant on the Uninvited, starring Pedro, Pascal, and Walton Goggins, about an old woman who gets confused and shows up at this couple's house uninvited when they're about to have a party. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. The links are in the description. Comedy Horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys, books 1 through 17. Available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. There's the old lady. There's the party. And, so Walter Goggins is the husband. And his wife kind of tolerates him. They're kind of tolerating each other. And this is what I would call an actor's movie, meaning that it feels a lot more like a play, like a movie you could just straight up turn into a play and perform it on stage, because most of the action takes place at their house. There's no really big set pieces, and it's really more about the characters than anything else. So what I can glean from this is the old woman is like the catalyst for the events that will unfold in the relationship between Walter Goggins and his wife. And both are having their various existential crises. They have a son who asks questions like, Mom, why don't you go to the party? Don't you like parties? And she doesn't want to go to the party, but the party is important to him. And then she's got to say stuff like, I want you to feel something. It's a very actor line. Very actor line. Only in a play do you get a line like that, in a movie like this, which again is basically a play. So Pedro Pascal, let's see, written and directed by Nadia Connors. Pedro Pascal is some kind of friend or associate of Walton Goggins. And he didn't want to invite him, but he had to. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure his business or whatever, but something to do with that. And he may have had an affair with the wife or had a relationship with them before Goggins married her. And he's a very touchy-feely kind of guy that Goggins doesn't like him. And the wife says something. He says something like, I don't like him, or I had to invite him. And she says something like, your burning jealousy of him made you not want to invite him. And he's like, yes, but I'm over it. Something like that. So in other words, the wife characterizes it as jealousy, to which Goggins' character just immediately capitulates to that and says, yes, I was jealous of him, now I'm not. Or now I'm over it. It seems a little much for a husband to admit in that kind of back and forth. I don't really see that, but maybe it's part of Goggins' character to do that. Indulge his wife in that way too much. But Pedro Pascal just seems to be drifting through this. Doesn't seem to have any lines in the trailer. Not sure how much of a factor he is in the movie. It's got, in the beginning, woodwind instrument music, clarinet, jazz, like a Woody Allen movie. So I think that's kind of the vibe they're going for. But it's not that funny. Woody Allen usually would throw in a couple of killer lines or situations, or at least his reaction would be big enough to let us know, oh yeah, this is going to be funny. At least there's going to be a couple of killer moments here. Instead, it seems like most of it's being put on the female lead, and she seems humorless. So that kind of soundtrack cue probably shouldn't be in this if the whole movie is humorless and it's about some woman who's kind of pissed off in her marriage and maybe wants out and maybe is considering something else, and Pedro Pascal or whatever. I'm not sure. Um, but if you were going for comedy, swing and a miss. Um, Pedro Pascal just kind of annoys me. He's just sort of there. I mean, I get it. He's an A-lister, but do you have to jam him into every movie? Like every possible movie? Ah, wait a minute. There's a lead here that Pedro Pascal can play. Call him immediately. Let's put him in this movie, damn it. I mean, I get it. Samuel L. Jackson is too old for these roles now, but you didn't have to just keep giving it to the same guy. You can give it to lots of different guys. There's lots of different actors in L.A. And he's not even a bad actor per se, but I mean, he's going to be Mr. Fantastic in a few months, and he's just in a lot of movies, and you run the risk of wearing out your welcome very quickly. Very quickly. And I get it. They put him in multiple movies, so one of the movies will be a hit, and then they don't have to start over with a new actor. But I don't know. Pedro kind of wears on me. The only movie I kind of liked him in was in that Nick Cage movie. He was okay in that. I liked it more for Nick Cage, but he was okay. That's about it. That's the short list for my Pedro Pascal movies that are passable. And this might be one of them because he doesn't look like he's got much to do. But the female lead's not carrying it for me. Walter Goggins is, as always, completely on point. I would rather follow him around in the movie. He seems to have a great energy and an intensity. I don't know what it is about him. He's just got charisma, kid. Charisma. Anyhow, first act, they're trying to get ready for this party. They've got the married couple banter back and forth. There's like a lot of tension in there, some sarcasm. They're kind of long in the relationship, kind of sick of each other. Maybe they need a vacation. Maybe they need a break from each other. And then an old woman shows up out of the blue. And she's confused and insists that she lives in the house. Now, they bring her in, trying to figure out what her deal is. At some point, I think they kick her out. And she just kind of wanders away and ends up like on a medium in a highway. And the wife has to run out there and save her, which she does and brings her back. I'm not sure what her deal is. Maybe she used to live in a house like, decades ago, and she's just confused. But the wife brings her in during the party because she doesn't want the old woman to get hurt or anything, but the husband's just irritated, saying, I got a big party here, get rid of her. Call the police or something. Second act, the party. Pedro Pascal is there, causing some problems, intentional or not. There's another dude there who talks about him, or talks at him, basically saying that he's a guy who breaks up marriages. So I think that's a cue to what's going to happen. And then the wife doesn't really want to go downstairs, but eventually she puts on the lowest cut top dress I've ever seen. Let's see if I can get a shot of it here. I mean, this is a low cut top. See if I can get a good shot of it. That's not it. Hold on. Yeah, there it is. And it goes below that. It goes way below that. It's a bit much for a married woman to wear, I would say. I mean, don't get me wrong. She looks great, but it's like, are you trying to have an affair? Are you trying to get some attention? It's a bit much. It's a bit much for a married woman. There it is again. Look how low cut this thing is. It's practically an open robe. I think that's way too much. I mean, I think this is like a huge red flag that she's going to have an affair with Pedro Pascal, or is trying to. Anyhow, there's some tension between her and Goggins, and then some flirting between her and Pedro. And then I think you probably end up with some sort of resolution ending with Goggins either wanting a divorce or the woman wanting a divorce, and then maybe she leaves the house and leaves Goggins with the old lady. Something like that. I don't know. Again, it probably should be a play. And it feels a little more, I don't know, pretentious than most movies. I wouldn't go to the theater for it. Not for a bucket of money. Would I watch it on streaming? Maybe. If I heard it was good, or if I was just sort of desperate for something and it was free, I would watch it. Maybe. I'd try it out. But I'm not super confident this is going to end in a satisfying way. It feels like a movie that's going to end with a bunch of loose ends and unresolved issues, and it's really about how life is just kind of pointless and random. So yeah, I don't leaning towards not wanting to see it. But it's called The Uninvited. Let's read the write-up. Let's read the write-up on the IMDb. See, there he is again. It's the wrong Uninvited. Is it this one? A stranger crashes a party, sparking a comedy of errors and a reordering of life. That's the movie. I didn't see one funny thing in it. You know, other than the woman, the old woman being confused, which is sort of funny. I mean, you got to go big in a comedy. Goggins has the energy. Everybody else kind of not. It's a little too real. And it's not hilarious that she might be having an affair with Pedro Pascal. That's just not hilarious. That's kind of sad. If that's the intent, I don't know. It's rated R for adult situations. It is an hour and a half, so there's that. That's good. But yeah, if it's going to be funny, you got to go big or go home to be funny. It's mildly funny that the old woman gets lost and end up at the house, but got to give us a little something. Like, for instance, what's at stake at the party, right? Like, I don't know if it's something, it's a business deal with a very youthful brand, and an old lady has shown up and is wandering around the party being ornery and annoying the guest. That could be funny, because then Goggins could react to that and be like, oh my God, I got to get this woman out of here. But you don't have that here. It's just a party for a couple and a woman. Details. We need details here. Do you get that in the movie? Maybe you do. I don't know. But you got to put something in the trailer. Again, you got to put details in the trailer so we go, oh, that sounds interesting. I would like to see that, or that's funny. And if you're doing a comedy, you got to have one laugh in here. One laugh. Pedro Pascal doesn't even say anything. I mean, is there anything funny in the movie? Show us one funny thing. One funny, somebody falls into the pool, somebody spills cake on their lap, anything. Just something. Anyhow, that's it for me, Tony D and Little Joan. Check us out on the green site, the orange site, and the black site for more videos. Yeah, I haven't posted the Hollywoke Hot Take live stream yet. I accidentally erased it, but I can download it from YouTube and then repost it. I'm still working on that. I'm still like fried from yesterday. I didn't get much sleep. What's coming up? Tomorrow I'll be at the Haddonfield Senior Center at 1 p.m. for my talk on how to hunt the Jersey Devil. Now, that's a senior center, so I'm not sure what the rules are at senior centers. I think it's kind of a little different than, say, in an assisted living facility place. But, you know, if you want to come, make sure you call first and get permission if you're not already a member or a family member. Then on Saturday, I'll be at ReplayCon in Hamilton, and that is open to the public, 9 to 5. This is the first con in Hamilton that I'm aware of, so I'm very excited. I hope it works out because I love Hamilton. as you know, blueberry capital of the world. So come on out. Hope to see you there. We'll see you in the next one.